My name is Janet Brin. I'm the Public Relations Manager here at CCT, and I'd like to thank you all once again for coming to our press conference this morning. We have exciting news for you. It's a new era, new day. We're beside ourselves with all the exciting stuff that we have coming forward for you guys. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the gentleman here on my left, our CEO, Mr. Avrad Penn, and Dr. Vanterpool, who you all know, one of our shareholders. And we are going to give you the news that you all been waiting for.
My name is Avrad Penn. I'm the CEO of CCT Wireless. We've been going through a lot of changes at CCT, and we are so excited to bring them to the public. We've been working diligently behind the scenes for several months now on our innovative new network, and we're in the last stages of preparation to go to our commercial launch. I know you've probably all seen our advisories that we send out in the media when we've been doing different things. We had to take down parts of the network to put up a new network, but we are so excited because we have essentially built an entirely brand new network here within the British Virgin Islands. A uniquely BVI network. Every single aspect of the network is here in the BVI, from the core, the towers, all the engineers that work on this network, all of our customer service staff, sales staff, marketing staff. This is a truly BVI effort, and we are just so proud to be bringing this to the market. We have been really kind of holding ourselves back because we want to jump out, but we're trying to be diligent and make sure we put everything together right so that we don't have certain hiccups when we come to the market. But we're finally at that stage where we get to make some noise and tell the public what's coming soon. We're looking towards next week Friday on the 14th. We're going to be having our pre-launch party with the shareholders in the business community. We're going to be inviting them out to Treasure Isle to learn more about the products that we have coming. And then on Saturday, we're moving right from there to doing a family fun day in Noah Lloyd Park to commemorate and celebrate our new network. We try to do this a little bit differently. We're the BVI company, and we want to embrace the entire community, from the youngest to the oldest. There will be activities for all different age groups, and we're just so excited to bring this to the market. I'm sure people have lots of questions, but we're coming with the real 4G, where it's going to be a huge upgrade over the network that we have now, much faster data speeds. We're coming with all new plans. We're still keeping a lot of the same unlimited characteristics of the plans that we have now, but we're coming with new and exciting options as well. We have a prepaid system that we're going to be putting in place where you essentially get to create your own plan. We think it's going to be really exciting for people. You get to choose exactly what kind of service you want and custom tailor it to you. These are just a few of the exciting things that we have coming very soon. And we're just so excited to finally be able to bring it out to the public, take the wrapping off of the baby and show it to the world. So we're really excited. We're really proud. We know there's a lot of diehard CCT customers there who have stuck with us through thick and thin when we had difficulties as a company. And we've put in place a new management. We've got a new set of investment that has come into this company. We've put $10 million into this company to build this new network and to give you the service that you deserve and you demand. We appreciate everyone who stuck with us through the tough times, and we think you're going to be really proud of what we have to offer once this new network launches.
Fantastic.
I'm going to ask Dr. Vanterpool to say a few words as well before we open it up for questions, but we're very excited about the future here at CCT.
Well, I came not intending to say anything really, but I have been involved with CCT since we bought out the 50% that was held by a foreign shareholder. So now the company is 100% locally owned. We have around 1,000 investors from the BVI involved in CCT. And we have, as Avrad just said, we have invested within the last year, $10 million in this company. And we are bringing to you the most modern and up-to-date 4G network with an experience that should be second to none. In fact, better than the others. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to Avrad.
Okay. Let me tell you about a few other things that we have going on. we're making some other steps in order to really serve our customers better. We've expanded hours in the store. The store is now open from 8:30 to 6:30, Monday to Saturday. We've expanded hours in the call center and customer service to be from 7 in the morning to 11 at night, 7 days a week. And you all know, if you live in the BVI, we have the best customer service in the BVI because you're calling someone who's here in the Virgin Islands, who knows where you are, who knows your community, who knows your frustrations. And we plan to show the BVI community a new commitment and on behalf of CCT. Our tagline, if you see all of our promotions, is going to be coming out. We've changed from being the home of unlimited to being life unlimited. CCT Life Unlimited. And what that means to us is our commitment is unlimited. Our commitment to this community, these group of islands, and our people is an unlimited commitment. Dr. Vanderpool spoke briefly about our investor base. We have a fiduciary responsibility to over 1,000 people within this community who have invested their hard-earned money in CCT, and we want to make sure that we give them a service and a company that they can be proud of. It's something that we take very seriously, and we're hoping that everyone sees it. This is a renewed effort at CCT. This is a new CCT. The name is still the same, but just about everything else has changed. We've got a brand-new network. We've got a brand-new backhaul. If you go down to the store right now, you'll hear a little bit of noise. We apologize for that. We're going through renovations. We're going to have a brand-new store, everything state-of-the-art. We're having new customer service experience. We've got some new employees in. So we're really going that extra mile to make sure we bring a new product to the market that everyone can be proud of.
Did we want to give a few questions to the panel?
Sean Rose, JTV News. I'd like to start with the point you just made, Mr. Penn, in relation to the renovations that are currently ongoing at your main office. Could you speak to the extent of those renovations and what are we likely to see when that's completed?
Well, we've essentially gutted the entire store. We've moved the store over to part of the office right now temporarily, and we're going to have a brand new store. It's going to be completely modern. We've basically done our research. We've gone and we looked at the Apple Store. We've gone and we looked at the different Radio Shacks and all the other cutting-edge retail stores that are in this industry that deal with technology and telecommunications. And we're going to do something on par with that. You're going to have a store where you can see all of the product. You'll see lots of images. It's going to be TV screens and so on within the store. And there'll also be an opportunity to experience the product, to play with the product, to play with the different phones, to play with different tablets, and really experience the new speed and the new products that we're coming to offer. It won't be, I like to say our store is a very traditional store. You kind of queued up to pay bills. There was an area to do sales. This is going to be a much more interactive experience, and we think that the public will really enjoy the new store.
Good morning. Zandos, ZBB Radio. I believe all of this preparation has been going on for over a year.
Yes.
You stated that you're in the final stage of preparation. What are you doing now?
Well, right now, we have our network up. We're testing it, obviously. So we have some people that are on the network, and they're getting to experience it kind of before the initial launch. But we're trying to work out all the bugs with it, make sure that we won't have any major hiccups once we get started. Because we're really in a situation where we're not so much upgrading a network, we're replacing a network. So we're bringing a whole new technology to the BVI. One of our shareholders made a statement that we like to embody here. There's nothing proprietary to the technology in telecommunications. Anybody can go out and buy it. And we searched all over the world to try the best vendor that we could find. We engaged a company called ZTE, which is the 4th largest telecom provider in the world, a maker of equipment and telecommunications network in the world from China. 2 of our shareholders went all the way to China to meet with them there in Shenzhen, and they have come here. They have been indispensable, and they have really built an entirely new network. So we have to test out each part of it. There's been a few final cutovers as we've gone from old equipment to new equipment that which required some downtime here and there. So those are the things that we're doing to try to get finalized before we launch.
You made mention of a launch party on the 14th and a family day on the 15th.
Correct.
is you'll not be launching the network. I've been hearing that it's coming soon, right? This party on the 14th, the family event on the 15th is not the big event. How soon can we expect the actual launching of the network?
That actually is the big event, yeah. We're actually planning to launch the network on the 15th, on the 15th.
Yes, Mr. Penn. Horace Mills from BVI News. I notice we're getting the impression that CCT is taking on a new appearance. Have you ever thought about changing the name, and how significant is the name CCT in the entire marketing process?
We did think about it. I mean, we did consider changing the name. The decision was made against that, to keep the name, to keep that legacy. We are still proud. We are the oldest telecom in the BVI. Started in 1986. We're coming up on 30 years of operation within BVI. So we didn't want to divorce ourselves from that past, I should say. But we obviously wanted to do a new spin on it, a new branding on it, to make it fresher and newer. But we decided to keep the name CCT.
CCT faced a bit of challenges recently. Do you think that will affect customers, and it will not give you enough opportunity to really target the section of the market that you would really want to? What implications do you think that will have?
Oh, I mean, CCT has faced challenges in the past. We look at it slightly differently. Despite all of the challenges that we've faced, we have a very loyal customer base that has stayed with us through thick and thin. We know what the complaints have been. We have heard those complaints, and we've made an investment in both time and money to deal with those complaints and to bring people the network that they deserve and that they desire. So from our perspective, we think that once we have this new network in place, which is on par with our competitors and in many ways superior, we don't think we'll have a problem reaching the customer base.
A follow-up about how much money was lost during the challenges.
Lost, I don't have the exact figures on money that was lost per se. Obviously, you do things within business to mitigate whatever challenges you have, so it's not necessarily that we're just losing money. But I can tell you that the investment that was necessary, with the number that we touted earlier, the $10 million, was to go and replace and really bring a brand new network to the BVI.
And I'll soon turn over.
Okay.
But the appearance of newness can also mean that the team isn't experienced. How would you address that? Do you have the skills and the years of service and so on?
I think we definitely do. We have people who came from different backgrounds. We've done some recruiting. We have taken people from some of our competitors here in the BVI and also abroad. We've got several people on our team with 10 and 15 years experience within telecommunications. But we've also gone the step of making sure that we involve the best-in-class suppliers that are out there. And once you involve those best-in-class suppliers, there's a training aspect to any new system that you buy, because you're bringing in those people who are obviously the experts in those areas, and they're also training our people. We're spending literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on training to make sure that everyone on our team is up to date on the latest and greatest technology. The thing about telecommunications is it changes so quickly. So having someone who is involved in the industry for 20 years, the things they were doing 20 years ago, those technologies don't exist anymore. It's like the big back computers. Everyone has a little, this is my computer. It's more powerful than probably anything I've ever had, So the technology is changing so rapidly. So the key is really to link with the right vendors and do a continuous training process for your staff.
Mr. Penn, tell us a bit. You mentioned a while ago that CCT will be taking on new employees. Of course, we know that a while back you had to send home a few employees as you began your restructuring. How many employees are you bringing on board?
Well, we have already started to bring to ramp back up our staff. We had to make a difficult decision when we first acquired the company. We had to basically rationalize expenses, and then we also have to do some retooling. Speaking to the last comment, retooling and making sure we have the right competencies within the organization to move forward. So that required us to make some painful decisions, but that was done. And now we're actually in the opposite vein, where we're really retooling and we're bringing in staff now. We've probably brought in, I'm speaking off the top of my head, maybe 8 to 10 people over the last, 2 months as we start ramping up to come back into the market in a big way.
And that figure is likely to rise.
That we are still looking. We are looking for people, but we're looking for the right people.
And how does CCT stand up against its local competitors, of course, on the regional and international plane in terms of the products and services that you're offering or likely to offer?
The products and services that we're offering are on par with any competitor. The network we've put in is on par with any network in the United States. What they would have in St. Thomas, what they have in New York, what they have in Texas, anywhere else. We went and got the latest and greatest technology that's available today and installed it here in the BVI. That's one of the reasons we had to bring people in to train. We had to bring people in to, do a lot of the deployment and so on, because this is the latest and greatest technology.
As you face the challenges and trying to get back on foot, so to speak, you would have lost customers. When you check the books, how it looked in terms of the amount of customers you would have lost?
That's always a difficult question to answer for CCT, because you have to remember we had every customer because we were a monopoly at one time. So whenever you go from being a monopoly provider,
Over the last year, how many customers you would have lost?
I don't think we've lost customers in the last year, actually.
You did?
We've been pretty stable. I mean, there was a time when we were losing customers. We took some bold steps when we first came involved in this company. The sale went through last year in April, and we kind of really hit the ground running and made the difficult decisions that had to be made. But we have not seen customer erosion over the last 6 months.
So are you saying that, Mr. Penn, over the last year, when you had the difficulties and now rebuilding, you didn't lose, neither didn't gain customers?
I would
Say
say
that?
it's about stable. Yeah.
So you didn't lose, neither didn't gain?
Whatever we lost, we may have gotten back. I'm careful how I answer. I don't want to say anything inaccurate. We had difficulties, obviously, last January. We had some significant difficulties, right? We lost some customers, but we have seen that the customer base has started to grow again in the last 6 months. So I would say on net, we're probably about even.
In the last 6 months, how many customers did have gotten back on board who probably would have left?
I don't know that number off the top of my head. Sorry.
Mr.
I know the trend because obviously we watch the trend, but I don't know the exact numbers.
You have stated that at least 8 persons have been employed within the last few months. In seeking people, are you targeting the persons whose positions were made redundant recently?
I wouldn't say so much that I'm targeting the persons who have been made redundant recently, but we are obviously trying to retool our organization. We have, as we look to retool and we look to relaunch, we have to look at what those capacity needs are. Anyone who was made redundant before obviously could reapply. So it's not as if we're eliminating those people from contention. But that decision was made at a time where the business had to make a decision about rationalizing the size of the staff and the size of the operation in order to put the investment in to really get us to this day to where we have a new CCT.
CCT is 100% local. That can be used as a plus. How important is that in your kit, in your entire marketing operations?
Well, CCT is a local company. It's something that we're very proud of. We like to make sure people understand what local means. Local means everybody who works, lives, and plays here in the British Virgin Islands. If you live in the British Virgin Islands, you are local. And we cater to that community. We cater to the BVI community. We're a BVI company. We're owned by people in the BVI. Everybody on our staff lives here in the BVI. We don't have any outsourced capacities. So our competitors are structured differently than us. They have their core in other countries. They have their engineering in other countries. We are 100. When we say we're 100% local, our entire staff is here. Our entire operation is here, and that's something we're very proud of. It's our commitment to this community and our commitment to this economy.
And in terms of expatriates, do you have a package linked to them all? Will you be targeting them also, or trying to give a clear understanding as to what the term local means?
You mean expatriates, you mean in terms of customers?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, everyone who lives in this community, who uses telecommunications within this community, we will be targeting them as customers. Absolutely.
I would like to direct this question to Dr. Vanderpool, Dr. Hesse Vanderpool, if you don't mind, the mics and so forth. you're representing the investors, so to speak, in CCT. Are you speaking on behalf of your fellow investors, shareholders? Are you uneasy about CCT's ability to be financially viable and stable in the future?
Clearly, there's some concern about that because it's a small market and it's a very competitive market, and we are also, at this present time, limited to the British Virgin Islands. Years ago, it was said that only 2 competitors could seriously exist in the British Virgin Islands. And we have had the 2 other competitors coming to try to gobble us up, and we are resisting that. And this is what's going to happen now that they are getting upset because we have come out of the ashes and we are coming back very strong. But we have done some research and we have making alliances too, and I don't think it's going to be just a simple case that they will just cause us to disappear from this market. I think perhaps the pressure that they have already started to put on us is going to help galvanize support from our people here in the British Virgin Islands and other people from outside who are trying to help us. And so I think we are going to survive, and we are going to survive, and we, with the help of the people, of persons in the British Virgin Islands, I think we are going to do well enough to fight off that competition.
Could you help me understand the statement that there are some 1,000 investors, shareholders in CCT?
Let me see if I can explain that for you. CCT did a public offering, essentially, a few years back. And we have, even the 1,000 is probably a low number of shareholders, people who put their money into CCT. And they still operate as a group called Telecom, and they have a board which we speak to and deal with, and we are preserving their investment. They are investors in CCT, they are shareholders, they're owners of this company.
How long that figure was 1,000? Investors, 1,000 investors, still have shares in CCT Global Communication. How long this figure has been 1,000?
It's been over 1,000 for, when was the liberalization?
5 or 6.
About 5 or 6 years.
5
5 or 6 years, yeah.
So it'd be correct to say that over 5, 6, people have not invested in CCT, local people.
Well, we haven't gone back to the market for another development of shares. So it's not, there hasn't been that opportunity.
So you didn't give, so you're saying that it didn't give the people to invest in CCT? You're saying that it didn't give people the opportunity to invest in CCT?
No.
You're saying that you made 1,000?
No. What I'm saying is this is a company, obviously, right? There was a time when some shares were sold off and they were sold to the local community. That has not happened again since then. It's not a matter of people not having the opportunity. I mean, they haven't been for sale. But we have well over 1,000 shareholders that are local people that own shares of CCT right now.
When again will be afforded this opportunity, probably?
To buy more shares again, that decision hasn't been made. I don't know.
Mr. Van Voort, let me get to you. You made mention you have some concern, right, as an investor. You talk about the size of the country, number of people. What are you scared about?
No, what I'm saying is that we are a company that is limited at this point to the British Virgin Islands. And the population of the BVI is small, but we think that from our research that despite the efforts of the competitors to wipe us from the market, I'm saying wipe us from the market in a very serious manner, because they have come to try and buy us out, and when they couldn't buy us out, they tried to
More hostile measures.
other hostile measures. And we will not be surprised if they try more hostile measures in the coming weeks, to be honest. But we are preparing and getting ourselves ready for that.
That's a serious statement. Hostile measures, wipe it out, getting upset.
At this point, we're not upset. At this point, I don't think we can go further into those details.
No, you
But
said
they have
that
been.
the other competitors are getting upset.
Oh, yes.
Why you came to that? What have they been doing to you?
Well, let me see if I can help with that, right? This is a very competitive industry, obviously. For a long time, CCT was not a very active marketer or an active proponent within the industry. It kind of stayed the same for a long time. And now, for the first time in a long time, we've made a sizable investment. We're coming to market with new technology that they may not have. We're also spending a lot of energy on marketing. We're galvanizing ourselves. You know, they have made attempts to buy the company, which we've resisted, because we see a bright future within CCT. We had to go and raise this money that we put within CCT. So obviously, the due diligence had to be done in terms of what the analysis was and how this money would be paid back, what the time frame is for the investment, et cetera, et cetera. So we think that we're handling this in a very prudent manner. But whenever there's competition, right, your competitor will rise up against you. We have had different challenges within the industry where CCT has, cited our competitors for anti-competitive behavior before. You guys are all aware of that, where they had Caribbean plans, where they were charging the customer less than they were charging CCT as a wholesale. I mean, there are several different things that we always have to come up with, but we are not going to be that sleeping company anymore. We have come to market, and we are prepared to compete within this telecom market.
Mr. Penn, does the addition of the new equipment and so forth that you have invested in offer CCT more independence, in particular independence of the other infrastructures that are in place by your competitors?
Yes. Yes, it does. So is it correct to say now that when everything is organized, CCT will be in a position to match competitor? Absolutely. That's a correct statement. Absolutely.
And what are your views on the issue of pricing inherent in the Virgin Islands in terms of usage of telecom services?
I mean, obviously, we plan to be price competitive. We would have to be in order to compete. So we're obviously keenly aware of the pricing structures of our competitors, and any investment that we do, we have to take that into consideration as we move forward. I mean, we try to do this. This is, in some ways, it's an emotional investment that, this is something that was very important to our investor base, that we have a local telecom. But when you put the emotion aside, we had to make very strategic, prudent business decisions. And we had to take all of those factors that you guys are bringing up into consideration, whether it be price, whether it be competitors, whether it be the cost of the infrastructure, be independence from the other company's infrastructure, so that you could appropriately compete. So we put all of those things in place to understand that in order to make a prudent investment.
Milan Poli could be regarded as a major shareholder or the major shareholder?
A major.
A major shareholder.
So how many major shareholders are there?
There are several. There's
You don't wanna
several.
comment?
Of several. At this point, I don't think I can reveal all of that, but I think it's fair to say that I'm one of several major shareholders in the company.
One of 10?
Several.
One question, you talked a lot that CCT has been able to retain its loyal customers, and that's something that you are very proud of. Is there anything that you are doing with this new launch for those loyal customers? Specifically, I know AT&T, when they launched their high-speed networks, they have been able to grandfather in specific unlimited plans or unlimited package for those customers that have been with them. Have you guys thought about anything like that to make those loyal customers feel that they're getting something extra for sticking with you?
I just wanted to say, in regards to that question, everything that we do, the diehard CCT customer base is like always at the forefront. Ever since I came on board at CCT, that's the common thing that I hear about all the time. I'm a diehard CCT, and I find that very intriguing. I love it. So it goes without, it's almost an understatement that definitely come launch, the offers will include special promotions for those diehard customer base, as well as some attraction offers for the new customers. But I just wanted to reiterate, the diehard will get, they will be pleased. I won't reveal the exact plan. You'll have to come to our event on the 15th, hence why we're making it a very, family-friendly type event. This is an opportunity for us to really engage the customer base in a positive manner and touch them, like really get out and touch them, rather than a big rah-rah fancy concert. It's about really being true to who we are and really being true to our diehard and our new customers who we are prepared to welcome on board with this exciting new network.
Mr. Penn, A government legislator in the House of Assembly recently stated that the government at the time didn't think prudently when it allowed a third telephone company into the market. Is that an opinion that you share?
I never plan to run for politics. I'm very careful how I answer these questions. I'm not a politician. I only represent myself and my shareholders. I think that's the best way I can answer that. I mean, obviously, there's an inherent advantage to me as CCT if there were not three competitors. My bias is stated. But I can't speak on the policy point. I don't think I'm probably the right person to opine on it.
And in terms of the economy itself, how would you describe it as a businessman?
The BVI economy?
Yes.
I think the BVI economy still has huge potential. We obviously have had our challenges like the rest of the world has. You know, there's a saying when America catches a cold,
We get pneumonia.
America sneezes, the rest of the world gets pneumonia. So we sometimes lag behind the bigger markets. And, you know, when there's a recession in America, recession in Europe, it's going to affect our tourism, it's going to affect our financial services and so on. But we still have a very vibrant economy here. And we see huge potential. We're not going to represent people who are investing this kind of money within this economy unless we feel obviously have a very positive feeling about the future of the BVI.
Yeah, sometimes when we read the blogs, etc., people are claiming that when CCT was a monopoly, it didn't treat them very well, and some shareholders didn't get their fair share of what they were supposed to get. Can you respond to that?
I think the best way I can respond to that is say that this is a new CCT. There's not much I can do about the past. This is a new CCT. It is a new ownership group. For a long time, we had divided ownership, which had its challenges as well. But in the last year, since last April, not quite a year yet, there is a new energy within CCT. I think even the shareholders see it. I know from before, when you had a shareholders meeting, I was not involved in CCT management, but I was a CCT shareholder. I invested a small amount myself. And you would go to a shareholders meeting and there was, 20 people there, 30 people there. We had a shareholders meeting, we had 250 people come. There is a new energy within CCT, and I think it's palpable that people understand, and we plan to preserve their investment and make good on it, and show them that this is a company that they can be proud of and they can make money from.
My final question, in terms of your corporate social responsibility or your corporate social investment, as some contemporaries before, how will you make that impact on the local community, given the fact that you've just invested millions and you're basically launching your new service?
This is one of Janet's pet areas, so I'm giving Janet the mic.
Yes, I know people are very interested in sponsorship opportunities and those sort of things. And CCT will be doing those things. A part of what the new CCT is about is really building strong community relationships. We want to build a sense of pride amongst us as residents and Virgin Islanders and everyone in between, everybody that lives, plays, and works here, So we will be getting involved in areas such as education, sports, business, small business in particular, entrepreneurship. CCT basically will be the company that I think would inspire future entrepreneurs and small businesses in our community, and really bring a whole sense of new pride to our country in the things that we would be getting involved with.
Last one for me. Janet, we have been hearing about 4G, but now we're hearing real 4G. Right, so I don't know who's telling the truth, right, because the other competitors say they're 4G. You are coming out with the real 4G according to you. So they're lying to us? What? I don't know. What's happening? They're lying? Are you having the real thing?
I'll take that. 4G is how do I say that? It's somewhat of a loaded term.
No.
4G can be somewhat of a loaded term. For instance, in Europe, what's called 4G, and in America, what's called 4G are two different things. Our competitors have a network which is HSPA+, which is 4G. We are coming with that same network, which is HSPA+. We have taken the additional step of preparing ourselves to also be able to have LTE in addition to HSPA plus. So we would be able to have true fourth generation technology within telecommunications, not an upgrade of because it was HSPA, which was 3G, HSPA plus, it was essentially an upgrade of the 3G technology. We will have not only that, but we will have true fourth generation technology within the telecommunications space.
Mr. Penn, I predict your response to this question, but I've been playing nonetheless. Which of the two phone companies do you think is the stronger competitor?
Which of the two?
Yes.
I don't know. As I said, I'd have to give you the same answer I gave before. I don't know if I'm the right person to answer that. I'm indifferent to them from my perspective. You know, they're both a competitor.
On the 14th, we'll be having our corporate and business event here at Treasure Isle from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. On the 15th, we'll be in Lloyd Park from 11 a.m. to 6 o'clock, and you're all welcome, everybody. Brother, sister, daughter, cousin,
Grandparents.
the whole family. Come out and have fun and enjoy your CCT.
Thank you for joining us.